Look, in America, we have used one word, love, to sum up a whole bunch of different types of love. And so there's a confusion whenever people say, I love you. There's even an offense sometimes when you say, I love you. There is not a good clarity when we say, I love you in America. And the reason is because we have taken so many different types of love that they actually require different boundaries. They are different relationships, and we summed it all up into one word. So I want to give you some clarity, okay? Agape. That is the word that is mentioned from the Word of God when it says God is love. God is agape. God is unconditional. He loves you unconditionally, regardless of whether you are rich, poor, what your color is, what country you're from, what your family genealogy is, what your hair color is, your eye colors, your appearance, your age, your whether your gender. It doesn't matter. God's love is agape. It is unconditional. Whether you live in a shack or a mansion, whatever it is, God cares about the soul. He cares about your heart. He cares about your mind. He cares about you more intimately and deeply than anyone else. And God, when God tells us to love one another, He tells us to love each other with that same type of love, to love people regardless of their race, to love people. But this is not just, let me say that again, to agape people regardless of their age, to agape people regardless of their social status, regardless of their skin color, their age, their gender, whatever it is. God has called us to agape one another. Okay, going forward, so we only get like so much time here, and I gotta go to work. Eros. Eros is a romantic and sexual, passionate love that is meant for marriage. Now, there is a romance in dating and in courtship, and that is a type of love. It's an affection, it's an emotion, it's a type of love. But the sexual part is to be harnessed within marriage and faithfulness and commitment. And there is boundaries, and those boundaries are outlined in the Word of God whenever He tells us how to live our lives without defiling our bodies and without sinning against other people, because ultimately everything that sin does, it hurts us and it hurts other people. So, and usually, honestly, this is one of the greatest offenses when people say that we should love each other. The first thought that comes to people's mind is a roast, and there's a wall put up because there's a boundary that's been put up. People have been hurt by lack of commitment. They've been hurt by being told they were loved, and then everything that hurts you is everything that went outside the boundaries of the umbrella of God's agape love, because agape is his ways, His will, His everything that God is to umbrella all the other types of love, because His ways protect us from getting hurt and from hurting other people. So wherever you see, the Word of God says that we have that where that love does not fail. So wherever you see, but that's agape. Agape does not fail. Okay? God's love does not fail. But wherever you see failure, you see that people have gone outside of His ways. And that's where the failure comes. And even in any other type of relationship, the failure is always sin. That's always what hurts people. Okay, storge. Storge love is between family. Family love, there is, it's got its own structure. It's got its own, it is its own love. But the way I love my dad or my mom or my brothers and my sisters is completely different from other types of love, because there is absolutely no eros in a storge. There is not meant to be a sexual, a romantic, any type of love of eros mixed in with your family, because your family is your bloodline, and that's what causes people. That's another confusion in this world that you see that goes against God's boundaries and God's structure that He has set for us. So storge has its own boundaries. Trying to move quickly here. Philia is a type of love that is meant for family and friends. It's a friendship love. It is, but there's boundaries again in friendship. Now there's like, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, that in marriage is it is one relationship that you can have all of these types of love that I'm mentioning today, except for mania. You don't want mania in your marriage. You can have the friendship. You can have the love of God. You can have the love of family. You can have, but it's a different type because you have marriage. You can have the love of friendship. You can have an enduring love, a long-lasting love, playful love, and enduring love. Moving forward, ludus. Ludus is playful love. So there's also boundaries in that, because what we play around and how we play around, there's still boundaries in all of these types of love. You know, like, I wish I had more time to go into more detail about it, and maybe I'll do another message later and do go into this. But let me tell you what, if you are playing around and your love is playful, but your playfulness has no commitment and no endurance and no faithfulness, again, if it is not umbrellaed by the love of God, then the agape love of God in His ways, your love fails. Your love will go outside the will of God. It will go outside of His structure and His boundaries, which are different than ours, and it ultimately fails. There will be failure, even playing around, if you go outside God's ways and His love. Okay, moving forward. Storge. Storge is the enduring love. This is where people fell, and I mean, they may or may not fail. But let's just say, okay, you see two people on a deathbed, they're really old, their love endured. If they were there for each other, and even in families, you know, you see this endurance to the very end. It's storge. You have this faithfulness and this endurance, and you see it in friendships, you see it in churches, you see it in families, and people long for and desire to have storge, because storge is it's long lasting. People desire commitment, they desire faithfulness, but they also need forgiveness. And in our world, we need forgiveness to achieve and have storge, which again falls under the agape love and his ways, because where there's failure, then you need forgiveness so that you have grace to move forward, and you can't have grace without forgiveness. Moving forward. All right, mania. I'm not sure if I hit every single one of these. Oh, philatia. Philatia is self-love. It's okay to love yourself in the ways of God. Umbrella that love under God. Don't be selfish, but don't hate yourself. God didn't call us to love to hate ourselves. Pragma, got that one. Okay, mania. This is about to cut off. I'm about to run out of time right now. Mania is crazy. I don't think that this is a healthy love. I don't think that this is a good thing, but I can see how there is some things that, you know, like abuse. Abuse is a mania love. It is crazy. They will tie you to the bed. They will chain you to walls and things to keep you from leaving. They'll sit on your car and chop your head off and do all kinds of crazy things. This is not umbrellaed by the love of God. This is crazy. Nobody wants mania. Mania is another reason why people reject the word love. So hey, when you're loving people, make sure you clarify how you love people and what love you love people with, because here in America, there's a whole lot of confusion. And whatever love you love people with, love them under the umbrella of agape love. I love you guys with agape. Agape. My roast is reserved. I gotta go catch my breath now before I go to work.